My beloved child. Pause for a moment and feel this. This is not noise. This is not coincidence. Something within you already knows this message is speaking directly to your life. Stay with me. Don't skip. What you are sensing has meaning. There is someone whose heart is quietly leaning toward you. Not in a shallow way. Not out of impulse. It is a deep pull, the kind that forms without permission, the kind that grows even when it is resisted. You may not hear it spoken out loud, but you feel it in the unseen. In the pauses. In the moments when thoughts return without being invited. Yet you've also noticed something else. Movement has slowed. Progress feels restrained. What could have rushed forward has instead been held back. This is where confusion tries to speak, but listen carefully, because confusion is not the truth here. This pause is not rejection. This stillness is not loss. This delay is not denial. Stay with me. This part matters. Heaven does not pause what is meaningless. What carries no purpose is allowed to pass freely. But what holds weight, what has consequence, what can shape destiny, is handled with care. Timing is not punishment. Timing is protection. You see, attraction alone is never the full story. Two hearts can be drawn while paths are still unprepared. Two spirits can recognize one another while the ground beneath them is not yet ready to support what could grow. And this is where divine wisdom steps in quietly, without force, without fear. Right now, something is being aligned beneath the surface. Not just circumstances, but understanding. Not just timing, but maturity. There are lessons unfolding that cannot be rushed without costing something important later. You may not see all of it yet, but you feel the restraint for a reason. Ask yourself this, and don't answer too quickly. What would happen if this connection moved forward before clarity arrived? Before healing completed its work? Before both sides could stand without leaning from need instead of strength? This pause is not about keeping you apart. It is about preventing something sacred from being distorted. Stay with me. You need to hear what comes next. There are doors in life that look ready simply because they are attractive. But alignment is not proven by desire alone. Alignment reveals itself through peace, through growth, through preparation. And right now, peace is being protected, even if your emotions are asking for speed. Heaven sees the full picture. The angles you cannot see. The pressure points that would crack under premature weight. So what feels like stillness is actually guidance. What feels like waiting is actually shaping. You are not being forgotten in this process. You are being refined. This pause is also speaking to you personally. It is inviting you to look inward, not with doubt, but with honesty. To strengthen your sense of worth without needing confirmation from another's closeness. To stand grounded, whole, and clear. Because the version of you that emerges from this season is the version that can handle what comes next without losing themselves. Don't skip. This next part is important. If this connection is meant to move forward, it will do so with clarity, not confusion. With steadiness, not urgency. with mutual readiness, not imbalance. And if it is meant to transform into something different, it will still leave you stronger, wiser, and more anchored than before. Nothing here is wasted. Heaven never delays without purpose. It never pauses without intention. And it never withholds without preparing something deeper beneath the surface. So breathe. Release the pressure to force meaning. Trust that what is being held back is not being taken away, but carefully timed. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where alignment can still find you. Stay attentive. Stay steady. Something is forming quietly, and when movement returns, it will come with understanding, not confusion. With strength, not uncertainty. And you will recognize it, not because it rushes toward you, but because it arrives with peace. My beloved child, stay with me a little longer. What you've heard so far was only the surface. What comes now goes deeper, and it matters more than you realize. You may be wondering why this connection feels so alive in your spirit while remaining restrained in reality. Why the awareness is strong, yet the movement is slow. This is not an accident of timing. This is intention at work. There are moments when heaven allows two hearts to sense one another before allowing two lives to intertwine. Recognition often comes before readiness. And when that happens, a pause is placed not to confuse you, but to teach you how to discern without attachment. This is where many misunderstand what is happening. They assume silence means absence. They assume delay means loss. But stillness, when guided, is not emptiness. It is instruction. Don't skip. This part matters. Right now, unseen work is being done in places you cannot reach with effort. Patterns are being exposed. Old expectations are being loosened. Emotional reflexes are being softened. This pause is gently separating desire from destiny so that when movement resumes, it comes from clarity rather than longing. There is also something important you must understand about the other person. Their draw toward you is real, but so is their inner resistance. Not resistance to you, but to what this connection would require of them. Growth always demands adjustment, and not everyone is immediately ready to step into what would change them. So heaven slows the pace. Not to shut the door, but to remove pressure. Because pressure creates decisions rooted in fear, and fear cannot build anything lasting. Stay with me. You need to hear this clearly. If this connection were allowed to rush forward now, it would ask one or both of you to compromise something essential. Timing is protecting integrity. Alignment is being guarded more than emotion. You are being prepared to stand in peace whether this connection unfolds or transforms. That alone tells you something powerful about who you are becoming. You are learning to remain steady without grasping. Aware without anxiety. Open without losing balance. This is strength forming quietly. There is a reason you've been called to patience instead of pursuit. A reason you've been asked to trust instead of control. What is meant for you does not need to be chased, and what is rushed before its time often arrives incomplete. Don't miss this next insight. When heaven pauses a connection, it is often because something sacred must be protected from distortion. Expectations must be purified. Motives must be clarified. Foundations must be reinforced. What begins in mystery must mature into understanding. And when the moment is right, movement will not feel chaotic. It will feel natural. Conversations will carry clarity. Steps will feel grounded. There will be no need to convince, force, or question every sign. Until then, you are being guided into deeper self-awareness. Into peace that does not depend on outcomes. Into confidence that does not lean on reassurance. This pause is not a test of your worth. It is a preparation of your posture. So remain attentive. Remain calm. Let what is unfolding complete its work. When the door opens, you will know it not by urgency, but by peace that settles instead of stirs. And you will be ready, not because you waited perfectly, but because you allowed wisdom to shape you while you waited. My beloved child, stay with me. What is unfolding now is subtle, and only those who are listening with their spirit will recognize it. This is not about waiting passively. This is about understanding what the pause is quietly accomplishing within you. There is a shift happening beneath your awareness. You are being taught how to hear without reacting, how to sense without reaching, how to trust without demanding proof. This is not accidental growth. This is intentional refinement. You may notice that your emotions no longer rise the same way they once did. What used to cause restlessness now brings reflection. What once felt urgent now feels observant. This is not you becoming distant. This is you becoming grounded. Stay with me. This part matters. Heaven often delays connection not because love is absent, but because identity must be secured first. When two people meet before they fully know who they are becoming, they tend to build on uncertainty rather than strength. And strength, my child, must come before union. Right now, you are learning how to remain whole without leaning into possibility. You are discovering that peace does not come from movement, but from alignment. This is why the pause feels both challenging and strangely stabilizing at the same time. There is also clarity forming about what you will no longer accept. Old patterns that once felt normal are losing their grip. You are beginning to recognize the difference between being wanted and being chosen with intention. This awareness is essential, and it could not have formed in motion. Don't skip. You need to hear this. If this connection is meant to continue, it will meet you at a higher standard than before. Not because you demanded more, but because you became more. The pause is elevating your discernment so that when alignment arrives, you will recognize it instantly. And if the path shifts, if this connection transforms rather than continues, you will not feel lost the way you once would have. You will feel understanding. Because what you gained in this stillness will remain with you. This season is shaping your inner posture. You are learning to move from calm authority rather than emotional reaction. From clarity rather than assumption. From self-respect rather than fear of absence. Stay with me a little longer. When heaven pauses something, it is often to allow truth to surface without distraction. Masks loosen. Intentions reveal themselves naturally. What is real remains. What is not fades without conflict. This is not separation. This is revelation. You are not behind. You are not missing anything. You are exactly where wisdom can reach you without resistance. And the strength forming in you now will define every meaningful connection that follows. Remain still in confidence. Remain open without attachment. What is unfolding will not require you to chase it. It will meet you where peace already lives. My beloved child, stay present with me. What you are experiencing now is not emptiness, even if it sometimes feels quiet. This is a space where understanding is being planted, and it needs stillness to take root. There are truths that only surface when nothing is being forced. In this pause, you are beginning to see more clearly, not just about this connection, but about yourself. You are noticing what resonates and what drains you. What feels steady and what feels uncertain. This awareness is not accidental. It is forming discernment. Don't skip. This part matters more than you think. Heaven often slows what could become consuming so that it does not replace what should remain central. When something begins to take too much emotional space before it has earned trust, a pause restores balance. Not to remove desire, but to return perspective. Right now, your inner world is being recalibrated. You are learning how to hold possibility without letting it define your peace. You are discovering that anticipation does not have to disturb your calm. This is maturity growing quietly. There is also something unfolding regarding timing. What feels delayed to you is being synchronized beyond you. Other pieces are moving. Other paths are adjusting. Conversations you are not part of, decisions you cannot influence, and shifts you cannot predict are aligning in ways that will soon make sense. Stay with me. You need to hear this clearly. If this connection were to move forward before those pieces aligned, it would carry unnecessary strain. Misunderstandings would form. Expectations would collide. What could be gentle would become heavy. The pause is preventing weight where there should be ease. Notice how you are being invited to trust without control. To remain open without anxiety. To grow without knowing every outcome. This posture is not weakness. It is strength refined. And understand this, you are not being asked to wait in uncertainty forever. You are being prepared to recognize clarity when it arrives. When the door opens, it will not require interpretation. It will not create confusion. It will feel steady, mutual, and grounded. Until then, your role is not to analyze every sign, but to remain centered. What is meant for you will not ask you to abandon your peace in order to reach it. Stay attentive. Stay grounded. This pause is shaping not just the future of this connection, but the standard by which you will measure every meaningful connection going forward. My beloved child, stay with me to the end of this thought. What you are walking through now is bringing you to a deeper place of certainty, even if it doesn't look like movement yet. There is a reason your heart is calmer than it used to be. A reason the urgency has softened. This is not distance. This is trust forming. You are learning that what is guided does not need to be rushed, and what is real does not disappear in silence. Don't skip. This part matters. Heaven is teaching you how to recognize alignment by how it feels, not by how fast it moves. What is aligned carries steadiness. It does not pull you into anxiety or constant questioning. And this is why the pause has been so intentional. It is separating emotional intensity from spiritual readiness. You are also being prepared to receive without fear. To allow something meaningful to enter your life without bracing for loss. This is important, because what arrives next will require openness without defensiveness. And that posture could only be formed here, in this still season. Understand this clearly. If this connection is meant to continue, it will return with clarity, not confusion. With mutual direction, not imbalance. You will not need to interpret mixed signals or wonder where you stand. What is meant for you will meet you in certainty. And if the path unfolds differently, you will not feel diminished. You will feel strengthened. Because what this pause has given you is discernment, and discernment remains long after circumstances change. Stay with me a little longer. What you are becoming now is someone who can hold depth without losing peace. Someone who can feel connection without surrendering clarity. Someone who can trust timing without resisting growth. This is not an ending. This is a positioning. Remain grounded. Remain open. Let what is being aligned finish its work. When movement resumes, it will not shake you. It will meet you where strength already lives. My beloved child. Stay here with me just a little longer. What is being formed now is quiet, but it is strong. This is the kind of strength that does not announce itself, yet changes everything that follows. You may notice that your focus is shifting. What once consumed your thoughts now rests more gently in your awareness. This is not because it mattered less, but because you are learning to hold it without letting it hold you. That balance is rare, and it is being cultivated intentionally. Don't skip. This part matters. There is a deeper reason this pause has lasted longer than you expected. It is not only about preparing you. It is also about protecting what could become meaningful from entering a season where it would be misunderstood or mishandled. Timing determines how something is received, not just how it begins. You are being aligned with peace before connection. With clarity before commitment. With purpose before attachment. This order matters more than emotion realizes. Stay with me. What is meant for you will never require you to shrink your standards, silence your intuition, or abandon your calm. And this season is teaching you how to recognize when something honors your wholeness rather than competes with it. Notice how you are no longer chasing reassurance. You are becoming comfortable with knowing without needing constant confirmation. This is wisdom settling in. If and when this connection moves forward, it will meet you at this level. It will not pull you backward into old patterns. It will not ask you to explain your worth. It will align naturally with the version of you that now exists. And if it does not move forward in the way you once imagined, you will still carry forward everything this season has given you. Nothing here has been wasted. Every moment of stillness has been shaping discernment, strength, and inner stability. Stay grounded. Stay open. What comes next will not arrive with urgency, but with recognition. And you will be ready, not because you waited, but because you became. My beloved child, remain with me as this understanding settles. What you have been walking through was never meant to weaken you. It was designed to position you. There is a quiet confidence growing in you now. A knowing that no longer needs constant reassurance. A peace that is not dependent on outcomes. This is the evidence that the pause has done its work. Don't skip. This part matters. You are beginning to recognize that what is truly aligned does not create inner conflict. It does not demand urgency to survive. It does not leave you questioning your value or your place. Alignment carries a calm certainty, and that is what you are learning to trust. This is why heaven was gentle with the timing. Not to frustrate you, but to ensure that when movement returns, it does not shake your foundation. You are being taught to recognize doors that open with peace, not pressure. Stay with me. If this connection is meant to continue, it will enter your life with clarity and mutual readiness. It will feel steady, not confusing. Intentional, not uncertain. And you will meet it from a place of wholeness, not anticipation. And if it unfolds in a different direction, you will not feel the loss of something essential. Because what was essential has already been established within you. Your discernment. Your stability. Your sense of self. This season has quietly raised your standard. You will no longer settle for what disrupts your peace or diminishes your clarity. That alone tells you this pause was purposeful. So walk forward without anxiety. Without forcing. Without fear. What is aligned will recognize you at the level you now stand.